into recovery, then we help them afterwards. And yeah, we're just trying to get the word out there as well.
So, oh, nice. So does that include gambling as well?
Any addiction.
Oh, okay.
One of them's just, some of them are just solely, but we have a lot of meetings where you can come with any addiction, any problem, any, trauma and stuff. We have a ladies' meeting that's to do with trauma, addiction, anything.
Oh, okay.
Which is only ladies. Yeah, there's lots of NA meetings, AA meetings, smart recovery meetings. So we kind of do everything when we can.
Yeah, good. That sounds nice.
Our focus is addiction, but we do, anyone can come to the meetings, the smart meetings. So, yeah.
Oh, good.
Come on then, David.
Yeah,
what about you, David?
I'm just setting up the recording, if you're all right with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
I just want to make sure it's running.
Are you still in Middlesbrough?
Still up here in Middlesbrough. Let's have a look here. New channel. Where? Oh, I can't tell if this is live or not.
It says live on YouTube.
Yeah, but I don't know where it's going.
Oh, shall I click it and see what happens?
I don't know how to work.
Yeah, no, I have. There's Mark Pickering, great.
We're live on YouTube. I'm watching it now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's working.
Yeah, it says the name is SWP88 2024.
Fantastic.
Hi, David.
Hello, how are you, Alia?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. All right.
Good.
Good. Okay, everyone. So it's 2:00. It's Thursday. It is the Systemic Wellness Practitioners Training, which goes on for 10 weeks. And the idea is that you learn about coaching here, how to implement it into your workplace environment. Yeah?
Perfect. I'm trying to get a notebook. Sorry.
No problem. And the idea is that this happens either before the 3-day intensive or after the 3-day intensive. And yeah, so this is kind of where we're at. We'll start by building the container. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
Great. Okay.
Hi, Katie.
Hiya. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Roar is in the house.
Roar is in the house.
Yeah. Okay. Emma and Mark and Joe. All right. So let's start by building the container. Yeah. We've got a couple of people that have come to the end of the 10 weeks to meet the certification requirements, but you're more than happy to carry on and to keep coming. And those two are Mark and Joe. And then Alia is this is her first day here. Yeah. And Katie, is this also your first time in this class?
Second.
Okay. Yeah. So you were here last week for the second hour.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So let's build the container. Let's start with a check-in. Just check in with your name, a feeling, and the organization that you work for. And what is the goal of your organization? All right. So I'll start. My name is David. Yep. I work for the Ubuntu Academy of Coaching and Training. which is a community interest corporation in the company in the UK. And my role is to provide quality training to professionalize people with lived experience that they can go into the workplace and fucking make a difference. So I'm in with that. I'll tag Joe.
Hi, I'm Jo. I work for Epic Restart Foundation, and we aim to help people rebuild a positive life after gambling harm. And I'm checking in as I feel quite happy today. And I will tag. Do you say Alia or Aliyah?
Aaliyah.
Aliyah. Okay, I wasn't too sure. So
Oh
I
my
tag
God.
Aliyah.
Hi everybody, so I'm Aaliyah. I work for Recovery Connections, and the main aim is basically to get people with addiction in recovery. We can talk on their behalf as an advocate to get them into housing and things if they're homeless. Today I'm checking in. I'm feeling a lot better than I did yesterday. I was quite anxious with everything going on, but today I'm feeling quite positive. I'm glad to be working from home and joining this group with you guys. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know anybody's names to pass it over to. How do? I'll pass it over to Katie.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Katie. I work for RAW, Reach Out and Recover, lived experience organisation in Kent. My role is to coordinate the volunteers who all have lived experience from addiction, to go out into the community and offer different ways of finding recovery and support. It's a new organisation hoping to become a CIC shortly. Today, it's been a heavy week. I'm feeling a little bit drained, so I hope you guys are going to pick me up a little bit. And I will tag Emma.
Thank you. I'm with Recovery Connections Smart, and we've got a ladies group called Brick, which I have to mention. Yeah, we're all lived experience. I'm training at the moment, so I haven't really got a position, but I am a peer mentor. We're just thriving to get the word out there and help people in recovery as well as in addiction get in recovery. And yeah, I'm positive. I'm feeling positive today. I'm excited. So I can't see names, but I think Rory was mentioned.
No, Mark.
Mark, sorry.
Hi everyone. I'm Mark. With Joe, I work with Epic Restart Foundation, helping individuals build their lives back after gambling harm, their long-term journey of recovery. How I'm feeling today, I'm actually feeling quite interested with new people being on today this afternoon, so I'm sure it will be really good. And I'll pass back to you, David.
Great stuff. So just some housekeeping or some logistics. In the chat, I've put the link to the online content, which is a self-study material, which links up the theory that we talk about here and the content in a self-study format. And as part of certification, you need to complete that material. There are some multiple choice exams as you go through it. The multiple choice exams are open book. So we're not looking to see if you can retain information. We're looking to see if you can look up information, if that would be relevant for yourself and for the people that you're working with. Yeah, so this is a very different learning environment from the school environment that I was brought up in. I found that sort of learning environment to be pretty traumatic, and that did not work for me. Yeah. However, to bring credibility to the training, we need to provide evidence that we've onboarded students, that we have the material, and that we've got evidence of it being taught and learned. So that's kind of where we're at. Great. So let's just wait for Sohan to connect. Yep. Also, what we've got is there he is. There he is. Our mate Sohan. All right, mate. You want to check in, Sohan? Can you hear us, Sohan? Yeah, so maybe your Bluetooth is still on for your headphones or something. I don't know. But if you can't hear us, then there's no point in me trying to tell him what's wrong. Which is a great metaphor for us. Can you hear us, Sohan?
I can hear you now.
Fantastic. I got the message that you couldn't hear us. So I started to tell you what you needed to do to fix it. And then I suddenly realized, what the fucking point of that? He can't hear me anyway. And that was a great metaphor for if you want to help someone, to get into a culture of recovery and they can't hear you, there's no point explaining to people what they can do until they can hear you. So, yeah, great. So, Han, it's great to have you here. Would you like to check in, mate?
Yeah. I'm not so rushed today, but I'm busy like I am. I think I'm kind of meeting life differently. I'm not slowing down a bit, but meeting life in a little bit more calmer way than usually in a rushed way. So I'm a little less rushed today, because usually I check in, I'm rushed off my feet. Yeah, a little bit more grounded.
Lovely. Okay, so Han, it's great to have you here as always.
Thank you.
I'm just the check-in was how you're feeling, and then if you could just tell us a little bit about your role in your organization.
Okay, my role
And
is
your organization.
Yeah. I work for an organization called Back In. Back In stands for Black and Asian Cultural Identification of Narcotics. We're one of the original ethnic Leros, which I co-founded in 2003. And I'm the service manager. I run the Lero, and we specialize in supporting underserved, marginalized ethnic minority communities, predominantly in Nottingham, but in the East Midlands, and then sometimes we support people from across the country, depending on what kind of support they need. If they can't get it in their city, they come to us. So we're recovery focused. Our program is abstinence-based recovery, and but we support people along their journey, from harm reduction to detox to rehab to complete abstinence, anywhere along the journey.
Thank you, Sohan. Okay, so just to, and I'm sorry to repeat myself, but this is the Systemic Wellness Practitioners Training, where you take the coaching skills that you've learned from doing the 3-day intensive into your organization. Now, people can either do the systemic training prior to the 3-day intensive, or they can do it post the 3-day intensive. And what Katie's doing is she's here as part of the pre-intensive, which will be happening in September. And Aliyah's just done the 3 days intensive and now is joining us for the next 10 weeks to help integrate into her role. Is that, have I got that right, Aliyah?
Yeah.
Yep, good. All right. And I just want to declare my bias here, if I may. Aliyah was my buddy on this training in Middlesbrough. Yeah. And there was part of me that became incredibly protective. I hope that's not inappropriate. But being a young Muslim lady with everything that's gone on in Middlesbrough, it really brought up my fucking warrior in me to want to fucking protect and to say, not on my fucking watch. Yeah. So I've got a charge in me that is triggered by one of my values around wanting to fucking, stop the madness that's going on. So I just wanted to bring that into the container, yeah, because I'm all for supporting the marginalized voice that isn't heard. And the reason for that is my voice was marginalized for many years because of my substance abuse or my substance use disorder, and they came and took my kids away. Yep. So as a father, they came, they kicked the door in, they took my kids away, and to be honest, rightly so. Yeah. But it's taken me a hell of a long time to get over that. And so that's one of my own internal values that can influence the way I am. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there. And that drives my passion for this work. Yeah. Okay. Right. Having said that, I will work with anyone. Yeah. I will work with the oppressor and the oppressed. Yeah. And I also understand at times I might come across as the oppressor, being an old white middle-aged straight bloke from South Africa. So just fucking put that in the ring there. Yeah. Okay. Right. So the structure of the training is there are 5 things we need to learn over 10 weeks. The first one is how to have the coaching conversation, which is the symbol of headphones. Are you able to listen to someone? The next one is the continuum. Can you see how someone is progressing? The third one is the systemic nature of addiction and substance use disorder or whatever it is. There's a system that's in a culture of adversity, yeah? And how can we move people to a culture of resilience or a culture of recovery? The fourth skill is the 4Q model. So how can you use coaching as a skill set in leadership in terms of technical skills, emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, and political intelligence? And then number 5 is, can you create the container? And the container is holding the space, checking in, contracting, and seeing what emerges and what the agenda is. Yeah? Cool. All right. So what's today's agenda?
David, I thought it was quite interesting listening to Aaliyah and Katie. Aaliyah was talking how chaotic. I think she was talking about it being chaotic yesterday and being happy to be working from home today. And Katie said that she'd had a really busy week and wanted to have some fun this afternoon. So probably that's a good starting point.
So now we've started, where would you like to take it, Mark?
Well, it'd be lovely if Aaliyah, Katie, you would like to elaborate on your weeks and if there's anything in particular you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, I'm happy to. First of all, it's been a busier week for me because I've been moved from 2 days a week to 3 days a week. So that's a step anyway. As I shared last week, but you weren't all here, we lost one of our volunteers to an accidental overdose recently due to the presence of nitazenes, suspected presence of nitazenes in supply. And we have a fundraiser awareness day on Saturday. So I've been unofficially using my coordinator role in helping to prepare that and get things organised. So there's just been a lot of headspace with different hats on, actually. And I also just finished my award in education and training. So I've worn many hats this week. I think that's the main problem. If I was just doing one thing and concentrated on that, which life is not like, it would be okay. But because I've had to do sort of swap about, it's led to me going to bed at night with things pinging for different things. And on top of that, I do have another little part-time job as well. Yeah, so it's been a busy one. Physically, that's okay. Mentally, it just gets a little bit much. And I will be very glad when this weekend's over and I can just sort of go back to doing my normal things. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. And that's why I'm a bit drained.
Congratulations first, Katie, on the extra day a week. If that is a good thing.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
And you talked about wearing all these many hats. So, like, what are you doing? Sort of things are you doing to look after your well-being, especially from your mental health? Because you talked about physically okay, but mentally straining.
Yeah, I do belong to fellowship. I've had a fellowship meeting this week. I've also had a informal we have a little gathering, a little book club, sort of studying a little recovery book with a couple of friends, which I love. That's very informal and chatty. And I have started cold water dipping. I've got a little cold tub, which I've been keeping up this week, that I'm actually sort of growing, you know what we're like, I'm growing a little bit addicted to. So I have been looking after myself. I just feel it's just one of those things, you know, sometimes weeks are like that, and hopefully next week I can do it a little bit more.
Please just quickly tell us a little bit more about the cold water bit.
Okay, so it's basically it's a little inflatable. It's intended as an ice bath, but faffing around filling out with ice every day would, first of all, I'm not ready for that yet, and secondly, it would be a faff. But it has a little insulation lid on it, so if you can get the cold water in there, it actually keeps it cold. And I do chuck a little bit of ice blocks in there occasionally if it starts to warm up a little bit. So yeah, I've been doing it I think I got it about a month ago, and I love it. It's quite clearing for my mind, you know, so I do start with that every day without fail, which is unlike me to get, you know, into something so quickly. But like I said, it's that addict, isn't it? I highly recommend it, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks, Katie. We do a lot of work around that sort of thing as well. So yeah, really important. Would anybody else like to come in with anything? Would Alea like to talk about her week and talk about yesterday?
Yeah, so basically I'm from Middlesbrough and I'm quite close to the town where I live. There's been a lot of like things like acid attacks. So I know one woman, Muslim woman with a family friend, she got acid shot in her face. My uncle, he lives on Granville Road. His car and his house was smashed up on Sunday with the riots. I've actually fell out with a lot of friends because they were in the protest and I didn't realise they were quite racist. So that's been quite a bit of a struggle. And then obviously yesterday there was everything. I don't have social media, but I was told by close family and friends that there was this message put on. Apparently there was 4 white people killed. So somebody had put on social media that planned to kill basically Muslim people or people with black skin or mixed race or whatever. So they were all planning to meet yesterday near Albert Park, right near me. So anyway, I spoke with my manager. She was quite very supportive, shall I say, and she was just saying, like, for my own safety, obviously work from home, because she doesn't want me to be targeted. So like it just made me so anxious last night. I couldn't sleep at all. So anyway, I called my dad. I ended up sleeping at his house to be with him. But then today I feel like a little bit more at ease. Yesterday, the only thing that did happen, there was somebody stabbed on Waterloo Road, but they were locked up straight away. But yeah, it just panics me. I'm just quite upset and just disgusted with everything that's going on. But yeah.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Would anybody else like go on,
Just take
David?
just take a pause there, Mark. Yeah. And just how has that impacted the container? So for me, what it did, it just kind of upped the volume of like, oh, fuck. This is like, yeah. So I just want us to be aware of where that's gone. So let's just whip around the room and just, how are you feeling, yeah, as being part of this container? Who wants to go first? Well, let's start with you, Mark. You are holding the space.
Yeah, I mean, like listening, not just listening to Leah talk about that, but also listening to Katie, and me and Joe were both aware of the accidental overdose from the volunteer as well. It's all really, if you put it all together, it's all really, really sad news. So like you sometimes, in some ways, I feel humble for what I have and how lucky we are. And it
So
makes you
you're
feel a
feeling
little bit sad.
humbled.
Yeah,
Yep, I'm humbled and sad.
yeah,
Yep, around the stories that I'm hearing.
that's correct.
Thank you, Mark. Wonderful. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. For me, you know, like Mark said, I feel, you know, I do feel humbled, and you know, it's sad, and the protector in me kind of just wants to come and give you both a cuddle and just sit with you and make sure you're all right, you know. But no matter what's happened, you know, you're both still here on this call. You're shown up, and you know, it's very brave and courageous, and yeah, I feel.
Sorry, I'm just going to
admiration.
mute. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just going to mute this because Dad, I'm on the call, so we shut this door, please. I'm on the Zoom call. I can't speak yet. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's all right.
That's fine. Just to let you know, you didn't do very well at muting, though.
We're on the Zoom call.
Dad, she's on a Zoom call.
I'm going to mute in that 1 second.
Carry on, Joe.
I finished.
Oh, you
The end.
finished. Okay, the end. Okay. So, all right. Okay. We would like to go. Katie, there you go.
Yeah. I had that overwhelming feeling of shit just got real listening to Aaliyah. You know, yes, I've had a drained week. Yes, I've had some difficult stuff, but actually I've not been personally attacked or victimized, you know, and so that brings about a little bit of concern, anger, and all of those things that come with someone being victimized for no reason, and also partly gratitude, because actually, Kate, what the fuck you got to worry about? You know.
So this stuff just got real, yeah. And what have I got to worry about? Okay, all right. So no judgment in that yet. We're just trying to get aware of how we're impacted when we hear somebody else's story. Great stuff. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I feel humble the same as everybody else, but I also feel annoyed and angry that that's not what the protest is meant to be about. We're not racist. We're not against anybody. We're more than happy to help other countries and stuff like that. But it's about when there's too many, and we can't help everybody. you know, and that's what it's about. We're not racist or anything. So throwing acid in people's faces is horrendous, and ruining people's businesses is horrendous. A silent protest, you know, is fine, but not when they're hurting and damaging and breaking the laws. It's just ridiculous. And to make our own community scared, it just really annoys me, makes me angry.
So it brings up anger for you? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, great. Thank you. All right.
they don't speak for all of us, you know. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm finished.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll come in, David.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm just listening to Leah and everybody. What I've been sort of feeling and noticing, you know, around, there's a lot of tension, there's lots of fear, and this energy of division in the ether. I've been noticing, you know, traveling to work, just looking at how people are looking at each other, particularly on the bus. There was a white gentleman, you know, late 30s, sat on the back of the bus. I'm sat in the middle with my son, and there's other people sitting on the bus. But there was two ladies, two Muslim ladies, sat at the front. And when they got off the bus, and it's how they're looking, scanning the bus, and then taking a double take on the gentleman they saw at the back. And I'm kind of observing, you know, the fear, the anxiety, the projection, the assumption, will this person attack me? You know what I mean? And is he one of those? Kind of that kind of energy. And me even going to my local shop, it's the white butchers, you know, it's the English family. And I don't usually go to that shop much, and I've been popping in there. And then what I started to feel, right, unusual, because usually you know, it's my community, it's my people. Whether they're ethnic, whether they're white, British, English, doesn't matter. We get on where I live, and we got love for each other. But just for that moment when I popped in the shop, and I just this strange feeling I never had before. You know what I mean? You know, do they kind of mind me coming into their space, into their shop? Would they want to serve me? And do they have any bad thoughts towards me? And my head started, you know, the mental tape started to play like that. And I thought, this is not the way I want to live. This is horrible. But it's in the ether, walking through the city centre. People are looking at me. And I'm thinking, what must they be thinking? The way I look. Is he one of those? Will he attack me? Yeah. And then I'm walking past a bunch of sort of lads, and I'm thinking, I better cross over. I don't want to misjudge the situation. There's lots of uncertainty in the air. You know, what if they go for me, you know what I mean? And I'm not feeling too good and clever today, right? If they tap me, how will I protect myself? And then when I go out, it's like I met my friend in town today. He said, just be careful. And I said, do I too look? Do I take something to protect myself? Because I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to harm nobody. But if someone trying to harm me or hurt me, I have the right to protect myself. But if I'm outnumbered, how do I protect myself? How did I protect myself in the past? I had a tool. I got tooled up. So I'm having these thoughts, and I had these thoughts in the 70s, 1970s and 80s, when we was in the middle of the sort of racist attacks, you know, as a child, you know what I mean? And it's kind of bringing up that kind of trauma at the moment. But how I dealt with it, I fought back. I got my crew together. We fought back. We got beat. 12, 13, 14-year-old boys spat on, kicked, called all the P words and N words, you know, me and my friends and that. We didn't know what was going on. All it was, there's a people of a particular type of skin were attacking us. And then we had to fight back somehow. And I don't know, it's brought loads of stuff up for me, and I can't imagine how other people are feeling, especially when I see the elderly walking, you know what I mean? It's like I want to protect them. I want to walk, make sure I can see them so they get safely to where they're going. You know, whether they're ethnic people, whether they're white British people, because we've got quite a few elderly people living on my road here, white British, and I help them with their shopping, cross the road and that. And I think, well, what if someone comes out and silly in their head and trying to abuse or, you know, or be violent, will I step in? Of course I will step in. I will step in to protect. Doesn't matter which side it is. But I know people are angry, and there's lots of ignorant people out there, bitter people, and they're capitalizing on sort of harming others, harming the environment, and it just isn't on. And I think as a society, you know, as a community, we got to work together. And I'm getting a lot of love from my white British friends sending me emails and text messages. Are you all right, Sawan? You need anything? We're sorry for what's happening. And, you know, all of these targeted attacks Leah was talking about. And what I fear the most is the counter attack, you know, where like the acid attacks that Leah mentioned, that's not bloody on. No one should be getting that, but the communities will get incensed. They will get angry. The anger will spread like a flame, and they will all be coming out and trying to sort of, you know, get their own back. And I fear that. I fear that escalation. If someone gets hurt, beat up, or like that, you know, I'm in attacked, because they're vulnerable, then either side will be preparing to protect, but also to counterattack. And I don't want that. I don't want like civil sort of violence in the communities. And that's one of my fears. And I can look after myself. You know what I mean? And I'm looking over my shoulder, and I won't let my mum go out there. I'll tell you that now, till things cool down. I won't let my children play outside. And just to finish on this, David, even the neighbors we're looking at each other funny. It's like the conversation's kind of gone a bit, what do we say to each other? How does he think about me? How does he think I'm thinking about him? It's not a very good feeling at the moment, and I feel for the women, I feel for the children, I feel for the vulnerable elderly in our community. I really, really do. I'm just one man. If I could save and help and that, you know what I mean, be here, be there, like a superhero, I would do that. I've always done that. You know what I mean? Help anybody in trouble.
Thank you, Sohan. So I started laughing, yeah, because it's absolutely right what you're saying. And my laughter is anxiety. It's me fucking laughing because like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do with this. So I just want so listening to the stories fucking triggers me, and then I start to laugh, and I want to kind of crack jokes and diffuse the environment with humor, yeah, and because of that, that can often, well, it does leave me feeling misunderstood, and it can give the message that I don't care, or I'm taking this stuff lightly. But it's a complete opposite. It's me listening to the story and fucking laughing because it's insane. It's like all of a sudden now the neighbors are looking at each other differently. Yeah. And yeah. So let's just bring it back to the coaching training. Yep. And the role that we have within our organizations being attacked, for want of a better word, by outside influence. Yep. So just to give you some context, my clinic in Johannesburg is run by 2 Muslim women, yeah, and we've got lots of Jewish patients and people that work as well. And the Palestine-Israel thing fucking comes into the workplace, and we've got to kind of manage that in a way, yeah, to like, fuck, how do we carry on helping people, yeah, in spite of all this noise that's going on? And it feels similar here now. And it's taken me by surprise personally. I'm very surprised, like, fuck, Middlesbrough, this happening, Hartlepool, this, like, I don't, so that sent me off a bit, yeah. And Emma, I just want to go back to you, if I may, because what I really appreciate is you sharing your anger part of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, feeling angry about it, like something's got to fucking, you know, there's a problem there and we need to do something about it, but what happened is completely not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when they've, with them being so violent, and this is our community they're being violent to, they shouldn't be aggressive towards our community. That's not what this is about. I mean, ruining people's businesses and acid tax. I mean, it's just, it boggles my mind, because how is that going to get the point across? And with it being so violent, it almost makes, it's like they're speaking for everybody, they're not. And for all them people who are not violent, not loud and everything, when do we get to say that's not what it's for? That's not what we're about. They're just a load of thugs in my interest. Why would you do that? Why would you? It just baffles me. This is our community that they're hurting. So what are they trying to achieve?
So Emma, when you feel baffled, yeah, when
Yeah.
you're in work and your role and you're fucking baffled by a situation,
Yeah.
what's good for you? What's helpful for you?
I kind of just have my own time and take the dog for a walk and have a think, clear the
Okay.
cobwebs and have a conversation in my own head, but in the best way to think
And
about it.
what's happening to your body as you kind of say, oh, well, I'll just take the dog for a walk and get settled down. Like you started to smile, your mood, your energy changed a little bit.
Because it's free. I'm free to think, I'm free to breathe, I'm free to just think about things without any interruption.
Okay.
And without anybody else's opinion. So I make my own mind up, because other people's opinions, if they're talking over each other, kind of, you can't get the the whole picture. So I like to make my own mind up and then contribute to a conversation.
Right.
So
Okay.
you know.
So from a safety perspective in this container, yeah,
Yeah.
how can we create the sort of environment where we feel free and safe enough to talk about stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
and we're not going to get jumped on by somebody else, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so just want to try and do that. And I've got to kind of own, I'm most probably the most fucking politically incorrect bloke there is. Yeah, I just fucking fuck it up all the time. Yeah. So I just want to own that. And I'm willing to learn. Yep. But also I don't want to be restricted by having to sit here and monitor, am I being politically correct? Am I saying the right thing? I want to be able to take the fucking dog for a walk and just kind of go, oh Jesus Christ. I'm still in Middlesbrough. Hey, that fucking just triggered me. It reminds me of being in Johannesburg, where you hear gunshots going all the time, and it just becomes part of. It becomes part of life. Yeah, and to be fair, when I came from Johannesburg back to the UK, the way that I would interact in society is like, I wouldn't walk in the street with my cell phone on because I'm going to get mugged. Yeah. But when you're lost and you're looking for directions on Google Maps, yep, I've got my cell phone out and I'm so hyper vigilant that somebody's going to come and fucking take it. And then I kind of had to realize, hang on, I'm not there anymore. I'm here now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Those bangs just triggered me. I can tell my whole mouth's gone all dry. Okay. So Emma, how's it going walking the dog?
Very good in my own little head. In Emma's way.
Okay, great. Okay. All right. So there I just made a use of metaphor, yeah, to help bridge left and right brain thinking. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you got some freedom to speak here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So a question to the container is, yeah, what does your organization need from you during this time?
Dedication.
Dedication. Wonderful.
Honesty.
Support.
Support. Dedication, honesty, support.
I think authenticity.
Mm.
Authenticity. Yeah.
I know I had to think about how to say that before I said it.
Okay. So dedication, support, honesty. What was the other word? The other word?
To say
Dedication.
authentic.
Authentic, yeah. Okay, Mark, what's your organization calling for you in this culture of adversity?
I would suggest that like they want in a different way not for us not to get involved in anything.
Okay.
And think of the organisation. Not that I would anyway. But yeah, I think there will be people out there that belong to organisations that say and do things publicly and on social media that's not just detrimental to them, but also the organisations they're working with.
So, say more about that, Mark. Help me understand.
Well, look, there's a lot. This, I think it's really sad how much hatred there is in the world, and there's a lot of hatred out there on social media, and we don't just have a responsibility towards our families, but we have a responsibility to the organisations we work with as well, because
Yep.
we, at the end of the day, that's not just a sign of that organisation, but you're part of that organisation. So we all have a part to play, don't we?
Yeah.
And
So-
some people have different beliefs.
Okay. So with the diversity of belief out there and the commonness of, in your case, the impact of gambling harm, yep, gambling harm doesn't give a fuck who it harms.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Yep. So gambling as a what's the word? A phenomenon, is that the right word? Yeah. Or as an action or a behavior. For example, in Chinese culture, yeah, there'll be problem gambling, but it takes a big part of the culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Indian culture, yeah, in South African culture, in UK culture, and the harms of problem gambling and how it impacts the families, the feelings will be the same. Do my colleagues here support my thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Addiction doesn't discriminate.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yes, your organization's focus is on helping people with gambling harms. Yeah. However, maybe, yeah, and I'm not saying it is, Mark, but maybe you being a white, old English bloke looking like me, you might be painted with a brush that says, yep, oh, there's one of those fucking National Front people or something.
Maybe.
Is that, I mean, I have the same thing, Mark, you know, before I even open my mouth, before I've even spoken, that comes into the room. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying this is a challenge that we have as organizations to reach out to people.
Can I just ask a question? Like,
Please?
why would they think that? I don't understand.
Okay. So
Just honestly, I just don't know.
okay, so let's explore that.
Okay.
Could I just say something?
Yes, please.
I think it's a natural human response. It's like a survival mode. We sit back and we observe, and first impressions are what we first observe. So whether we go on what we've learned, behavior or whatever, like, you know, if you were brought up in a racist family, you're going to look at every person black, and that's your first impression. Whereas my kids don't see colour; they just see a person. And it's just that kind of environment. I don't know if I'm right on that, but I think it's your own beliefs or what you've been brought up to believe or what you've learned is your impression on people. So you sit back as a it's like a survival mechanism, I believe, before you even meet the person. So you're making an interpretation of that person on your own. I don't know, maybe.
It's an unconscious bias, isn't it? It's something that's kind of just there, not for everyone, of course, and we all have different ones. But you know, if you've had a particular bad experience with an old, it's there, isn't it? You know, it's just there, even though you hope it to be wrong. You just have that already unconscious bias against someone.
Mm-hmm. So let's just take a pause here just to time out for safety. Yeah. We're here to learn about coaching. Yeah. As a skill set to work in our workplace system to bring wellness into the workplace. Yeah. So that our organizations can better serve the people that we want to serve. Yeah. That's my thing here. Yeah. Are we all here to do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe and Mark are here to help problem gamblers because their personal lived experience where they were really harmed and felt the consequences of that, and trying to integrate back into society is fucking difficult with gambling harm. Yes? Yeah. Mark, Joe, am I? Yeah.
100%. That's the hardest part is to reintegrate yourself into everyday life and community and societies and all.
Okay, great. So there's a lot of kind of internal stuff, yeah, and there's external stuff that makes it difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, your question was?
How or why, didn't I? What I meant is, like, do you mean because you're two white blokes? Is that what you meant? No.
Well, so yes, I did.
Okay. I wasn't sure whether it was that or I don't know. I didn't really understand. I didn't know if because you got short hair or something, or I just wanted to know really.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so two white blokes, right? Yeah.
I come from a long line of oppressors. I mean, I'm a colonizer. So there's the humor again, covering the angst. Yeah. Sohan, did you want to come in? I'm not sure whether you wanted to come in or not.
Yeah, I can do, I guess. I was just thinking about, the role of projection and transference. And assumption, because on first impressions, we can make assumptions about the other person, And within the assumption process, we can also project onto the other person. Or he reminds me, she reminds me, or they got a particular look about them. And then we can associate that with either we can be drawn to the person or a little bit kind of be distance, depending on, when you meet someone for the first time and they remind you of someone that's dear to you, you automatically start to feel a warmth towards this person, yet you don't know anything about them. But also you can meet a person for the first time and there's something about them that reminds you of a difficult relationship or a difficult sort of history, and then you can feel a bit guarded. So what I'm talking about here is about projection. When we're working and supporting people and then they come into our space, they will be trying to get a sense of us, you know what I mean? And then to build that trust based on what they physically see. Because a lot of their
Okay, so he tried to drop a call because his phone rang. He ended up dropping out of, yeah. All right.
We'll be
So,
back.
so where I'm going with this, is that people with lived experience and lived experienced organizations are going to be projected on as well as being
He's back.
problematic. Hello, there we go. Welcome back, Sohan.
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected. Why I'm saying this, right? We did some research, and bullying came out of it, discrimination came out of it, and then also prejudice. One of the ethnic minority lads we're supporting, he goes to a mainstream service, he gets a white support worker, and that relationship from the beginning didn't go too well. And then we started to explore that, you know what I mean? And he felt shut down sometimes and he wasn't sure of himself. So when we started to look into it, this doesn't happen a lot, but when it does happen, we really need to look at the role of projection, assumption, and transference. This person reminded him of somebody at the job center many, many years ago and how he was treated by that person. Even though this sport worker is completely different, never met this person before. So the ethnic minority, I kind of started to project onto him, his thoughts and his ideas and that. So the relationship didn't go too well. So in that was unprocessed hurt, that came through prejudice and discrimination once upon a time in their life, but they carried that. And I'm thinking about how we project and transfer onto other people and how they counter transfer and counter project. If they're doing it, we're doing it. So you got the social communication, you're talking and you're seeing, then you got a psychological communication going on in the background, in our head, the head talk, the mind talk. And it's really, really important, I think, that, for me, because I've been trained in counseling and psychotherapy, I'm aware of these things, how projection works, then counter projection, and then how we use assumptions. It's not instincts or intuition, it's assumptions we make about the other person, based on whatever opinion that we carry. And quite often assumptions lead to wrong facts or wrong conclusions.
Yeah.
So it's like matching, when you're working with someone, like female to female, male to male, or male to female, you know what I mean? It all depends on a person's history, what they're bringing to that relationship. And then I see a relationship, if I can share this very quickly, right? Yeah. It's like you and the other person, yeah? What's happening between the both of you is the relationship, therapeutic relationship. Yeah, each one is bringing something into the space between you. You co-create that relationship. You can either fill it with assumptions, transference, or mistrust, or you can take risks. Say, look, I want to try to trust this person. Can I trust that person just to tell them, oh, you remind me of somebody from my past, and nothing to do with you, but you remind me of someone. This happened, and then you can talk about it and transcend it and make that relationship grow. But if we don't do that, we don't show up to our appointments, or we're a little bit resistant with our drug worker or our key worker or our counsellor, or we're not engaging, period, because there's this process going on that's not been processed, or it's not being cleared, it's not being healed, or the space doesn't feel safe enough to bring it into the therapeutic relationship. I've done that in the past. You know, I've had workers, drug workers and counselors. It's like, I want to make this work, but this is getting in the way. Can I, you know, have I got the courage or the or the space to say, look, you know, you remind me of somebody. Can I just say it? You know, it's got nothing to do with you, but you remind me of somebody. And I think it might be getting in the way, and I don't want it to get in the way. So we transcend it. Then we can make sense of it. We can explore it. We can untangle it. And with ethnic minority clients, and that I can say that across the board, right? Yeah, there's a big issue about mistrust, because they mistrust the system, they mistrust the society, and they mistrust the services. They will project, they will assume, yeah, and then they will transfer. And then that makes the relationships really, really difficult. You're thinking, why aren't we getting on? Why isn't this showing up? Not realizing there's other things in the equation that are going on. How many times do we look at that, you know, and explore that? We don't. We just take it for granted. Okay, it's not working. Resistant client. Maybe I'm not right for him. Maybe he needs another worker. But they could go to the same skinned worker as well and have something similar. Yeah. So it's very, very. I think it's very sensitive, you know, the space of relationships, how we develop, how we cultivate, and how we project. For me, like right now, projection is happening a lot in society. There's a collective projection going on. There's a collective transference going on. That happens in the small one-to-one spaces, but it can happen in groups, but it can happen in families, but also like a larger society. So there's something about projection. It's easy for me to project and protest. You know, when I'm protesting, it's all about the other guy or the other group. But very rarely do I look at, you know, what's my role in this? What is it in me that I don't like, but I don't like in other people? It's easy for me to dislike in other people and leave it there, rather than saying, well, could that be in me as well?
Thank you, Sohan. So just before we take a break, I just want to also just bring it back to, we're coaching in the workplace environment, and we're working in the workplace environments as employees or employers. We are not there in a clinical therapeutic sense to go to work on our own stuff. Okay. Yeah. If there's dysfunction in the workplace because of some unprocessed therapeutic stuff, that person needs support to go and work on that. Everything Sohan said was absolutely fucking on target. Yeah. And we're working with wellness within our Lero organizations, because there will be an outside projection that goes something like, those fucking junkies don't know what they're talking about. They're chaotic. They're full of shit. They're unmanageable. And but we need them now because the fucking government said so. So there's a tick box. We got some Lero people in, some special needs people. Hello, Lisa. Hopefully I was suitably inappropriate there. Hey, Lisa, would you like to check in? Great to see you.
Hi, everybody. Lisa from RAW, Lero Lived Experience Recovery Organisation in Kent.
And your role there, Lisa?
I am the chair.
The chairperson. Dun, dun, dun.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Sohan.
Okay.
Hi, Lisa.
So
Hi,
just before
guys.
we take a break, sorry, Lisa, we're just going to take a 2-minute break.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's fine. I'll sit here and stay here. But if we could just whip around the room and just give Lisa a summary of what you've learned today, if anything? Yeah. Just to catch her up. And while you're thinking about that, in the African context, yeah, when we create a container, we dance with the fact that people arrive when they can, and we as a container need to adjust to that, because we don't know how difficult it is and what obstacles people have to get there in the first place. So we as facilitators need to be okay with the chaos that happens out there. Yep. As opposed to saying, well, fucking class started at 9, you were late for class, why were you not here? Yep. Or you're late for your script, you can't have your session, we're taking you off your program. So we need to be able to dance with the chaos around it. So welcome, Lisa. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
No. You're not late. You've
I'm late to the container.
but you have contracted with us. You did say, listen, guys, I can't come for 2 hours, but I can come for 1 hour. And we're okay with that. Yeah. So if we could just go around and quickly just catch Lisa up. And then if you want to break, take 5 minutes for a hub. Some work tabs. Who's going first?
We've been talking about assumptions
Mhm.
about other people. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that and let everyone else
Yeah.
say something. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.
I'll just say something as well about, we spoke about how we feel with what's happening around us, in the communities at the moment.
Thanks, Sohan. Emma, do you want to go next? Oh, no, Mark's going. Go, Mark.
We weren't just talking about feelings, but we was talking about people's actions as well. We was talking about the impacts on the environment, but more importantly, within organisations as well as individuals.
Thank you, Mark. Emma?
Yeah, we were talking about like projection, assumption, transference, counter transference, counter production, and all that. It's all written in my own notes.
Fantastic, Emma.
Thank you.
Well, I was going to say all of the above.
That what she said.
Okay, so those of you that want to take a 5-minute break, yep, we'll see you at 10 past. And Lisa, I'll just hang out with you for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks, David.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So how are you, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just
I don't believe you.
back at work, having a few issues. Is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So I started off kind of placing where we are in the training and the container and what we're doing. Yep. So there's a systemic wellness, there's 3 days, there's the systemic post that Raw is here, you, Katie and James are here as part of the systemic wellness in preparation for the 3 days. And I spoke about the 5 things that we need to learn, how to have the coaching conversation, the continuum, the system, the 4Q leadership model, and creating the container. And,
Okay.
and then the agenda comes from the container. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm up in Middlesbrough, and it's been a bit, the racial tension here has been quite high. Yeah.
Has it?
Yep. So
I am rubbish at watching the news. I never watch the news, so I know that there is stuff going on, but very limited. Like, to be honest,
yeah, no, that's fine. But
the gist of it I'm getting is it's just not. I don't understand it myself, but
well, the technical term is it's a fuck up.
Yeah, and it is just, yeah.
So, for example, yesterday there was a lot of anxiety in the room around what might happen. So we had to close the training a bit early
Yeah.
because the tension in the town was, oh shit, it's going to go off.
Yeah. Did it?
Well, the tension went off, and what happened was there were more people going down to communities offering support and
Yeah.
saying that this stuff is not okay in
Not
our.
acceptable. Good. That's good.
So the community, certainly from my experience or observation, has risen up to
Yeah.
their higher values.
Yeah. Good.
And yeah, so personally I'm very pleased about that. And other people are still feeling very scared and it's yeah. So personally I'm in my element.
Yeah.
Because I fucking love the drama and this stuff, and I really want to sort this shit out. Yeah. And then the other thing we spoke about was still the loss of your volunteer and the impact that's
Okay. Yeah.
and continues to have. So
Yeah.
so those were the two kind of big themes in the room that we're trying to navigate.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of closed off by saying that we're an organization that needs to provide a service as opposed to a clinical space for people to come and work on their own kind of issues. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're here to do a job and a role. Yeah. Doing that role might be therapeutic for you. You might get a lot of value out of fulfilling that role, but you're not there for therapy. You're not the client, the person, the patient, the service user, whatever. That makes sense. So I'm just trying to keep it in that, say, business-like space.
Yeah.
You might be a lived experienced organization, but you still need to behave like a grown-up here.
100%. Yeah.
Am I boring you?
No.
That was all of yawning.
Yeah. That's called, that's mirror neurons.
And whistling up still a tune and then see how many people go home whistling it. It's quite funny.
All right. Great. So welcome back, everyone. All right. So Emma, would you like to build the container?
Oh, well, how's everybody feeling?
Who just went?
I said I'll start with Kate.
Katie.
I'm feeling really hot and bothered all of a sudden. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Was that me that did that?
It was you arriving that did that, yeah. I'll pass it to Joe.
I'm feeling, I feel really energetic for some reason. I don't know, I feel like running around. I don't know why. Hello, I always have Lisa.
I'm feeling a bit drained, to be honest. Yeah, working is giving me issues at the minute, to be honest. But there you go. That's where I'm at. Oh, I need to tag someone. Let me tag in Emma.
I'm feeling okay, excited.
You tagging me, Emma?
Yeah, sorry, my thing froze and I didn't know if it was back. Yeah, I'm tagging David.
Yeah, so I'm checking in. I got a little bit of anxiety. My anxiety is kind of saying, fuck, is this helpful? Are we on track? Are we learning stuff? So that's keeping me on my toes. And I tag Mark.
I'm feeling very thoughtful after the first part of the session. And I can't tag Sohan in because he's not quite back yet.
There he is.
Thanks, Mark.
I'll tag Sohan.
Yeah. Good to be back.
All right. So Emma, ask the question now. So what have we learned?
What have you done? And I will ask Lisa.
I have only just got here. I haven't learned anything yet. I'm batting that one off.
Who are you tagging, Lisa?
Let's go, Joe.
What were we talking about? Because I weren't listening.
What you learned?
Kid here was typing, so I was distracted by that. We've learned about how people make assumptions about people, whether it's by the way they look or if they've experienced something. I think that's about right.
Elise, I'm just going to mute you while you type. You're welcome to
Sorry.
type. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. I've just muted you. So when you want to come back in, just come back in. But by all means, type away. Okay? Great. Mark, what have you learned?
I think in a way, like I've learned something about myself as well as listening to the guys. In that, like, I had a spell in prison, and it's made me go back to that space. And like in the first 9 weeks, first 7 weeks of prison, no, 9 weeks of prison, I had 7 different cellmates, all different, and I think it learned me to be a lot less judgmental and look at people in a totally different way. And I think it was really helpful. But like it's sad that we are so judgmental. So I just feel sadness when I feel how judgmental we are in the world. And I'll tag in Katie.
Thank you. Learned how, as an organisation, it's our responsibility to try and transcend and break down those barriers so that our personal assumptions are not portrayed on the people we work with.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'll tag Sohan.
Thanks, Katie. What I've learned is, what's happening around us at the minute is impacting us, and the impact can be very, very strong when we hear stories of other people being threatened and harmed, and we feel for them in strong ways, and because of the injustice. And even though we come from different backgrounds and different cultures and different ethnicities, we feel that empathy, we feel that pain, even for someone from a distance. And also I've learned about relationships. When I'm sitting with somebody or when I'm meeting someone for the first time, what is actually going through my head? Am I formulating an opinion? Am I judging? Am I misjudging this person? and just kind of becoming aware if I do that and how often, I make assumptions when I meet somebody for the first time. And I've made a few assumptions this week because of what's going on, just by looking at a person, the way they look, what they're wearing, and do they remind me of someone? Just quickly, just one quick example. Walking through the city centre, I saw this English lad, white lad. He works hard, got tattoos. I usually look at people and I say, "How you doing, mate? You all right?" Quite friendly, smiling like. But I looked at him and I had to look down and look the other way. and then I asked myself, "Well, what was that? What was that?" And then I processed it as I walked, and I thought, if I said hello to him, "Hi mate, how you doing?" And if you turn around and say, "Look, what's up? What's up with you? Who are you talking to?" That was in my head, and I'm thinking that was an assumption, I made about somebody, a stranger. But usually I'm kind of friendly, say, "How you doing, buddy?" Or I smile or I put my hand up. That's my nature. But today I did that, and then an assumption. I was led by an assumption, and fear-based assumption.
So
Do you know,
what
I'm always going to have that assumption, though.
Yeah, it's more kind of amplified at the minute. So I don't usually think about it. If they say hello back, that's good. If they don't, I'm thinking, maybe they're not having a good day. I
Yeah.
won't be thinking, you know what I mean? Is he projecting onto me? Is he thinking I'm a refugee? Is he thinking I'm an asylum seeker? Is he thinking I'm one of them Muslims? Is he thinking I'm one of those people who's going to do harm in that? Because these things go through. They don't usually go through my head, but they're
Yeah.
happening to be going through a lot. I wear this, the way I dress. Do I wear my cap? Do I wear this? My bandana? What do I wear? So I don't fit into a stereotype. This is what I'm thinking first thing in the morning. So I don't fit into a stereotype. Do I wear a gentle cap? You know what I mean? What do I wear? Do I just wear that's the insanity of it at the minute.
Yeah. Sorry, I tried to put a phone call down.
That was it, yeah. Should we come back to Lisa?
Well, what about me?
What have you sorry, what have you
What about
learned,
me?
Lisa,
You're leaving me out. No,
from what you've heard from us all?
I'm the biggest student here. What I learned is I was really touched by Mark's story, of his experience. As soon as he said what he learned in the first kind of 9 weeks of jail and having 7 cellmates, how that really kind of reflected around his judgmentalism. And it moved me, Mark. Listening to your story, I can feel in my body now as I talk about it, immense compassion and care for you as a human being. I feel like you're a real good bloke. I feel safe around you now. I heard that, and I know that about you. So thank you for that, Mark.
Appreciate that.
And I'm saying it because I really genuinely mean it. It's
I met some great people, David. I mean, I shared a cell with an Indian guy for like quite a few weeks after that, and he was the most gentle person you'd ever meet. And I came across all different kinds of. I shared a cell with a drug dealer for a while, and it was quite a nice guy, but like so like I managed to get through 15 months without one altercation, and like I think that was probably testament to that first 9 weeks, because like I learned a hell of a lot, and I think once you've been rock bottom and you work in recovery and you help other people, like people have so much more empathy, and that maybe maybe everybody needs a dose of going to prison.
Okay. Yeah, so I was a smackhead for a while. That was prison enough for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So what did Mark's story, as he shared his part of his authentic self, how did that impact the container? How did it impact other people?
Happy.
Happy? It brought you closer to him?
Yeah, because it's give people a chance, and that's what we all should be doing, is listening before we make the assumption. Listening to people.
Yeah. So, Hen?
Yeah, very, very positive. You know how, you met these individuals and that, and you kind of saw them for for who they are, rather than preconceived ideas and projections and that. I thought that was really good, because I suffer from assumptions and I do project, but less so nowadays, just based on my experiences, I guess. So I feel positive from what I heard from you, Mark. That's really, really good. Yeah. Thank you.
Katie?
I love when someone shares something about themselves that it connects. I've been in my own virtual prison for quite a long time, and to build a connection with someone else is such an integral part of humanity, actually, the connectivity, and that's lovely.
Are you open to telling us more about your virtual prison?
Yes, of course I am. I've suffered with severe agoraphobia for about 30 years now. For anyone who doesn't know, agoraphobia is the fear of going out. I know sometimes I get asked that. It's had different levels, but I am pretty much housebound, working on it. But within that, I used alcohol as a self-medication to enable me to go out. That was my little crutch, if you like. Obviously, since I came into recovery about 3.5 years ago, I haven't really ventured out. So I empathise with anyone in any experience where it makes life a little bit different. I also empathise with being judged and having assumptions made about you because of what you can and can't do. And that's why, first of all, I'm very grateful to be employed in an organisation that has looked past those things and able, with the technology that's around at the moment, to be here with you guys today.
And as you tell us this part of yourself, what's the feeling in your body?
Emotional. I get quite emotional. Before, it would have been embarrassment, because I used to find that a very embarrassing part of my life, more embarrassing than my alcoholism, funny enough. But as time has gone on and I've been working on myself, I don't feel as embarrassed about it. I just feel emotional. This is my reality right now. And yeah, that's how I feel.
So as I heard your authentic emotion coming up, it really brought me closer to you. And I just want to thank you for your, I'm going to say, courage for bringing that to the container.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool.
Can I say something to Katie, David? That was you articulated that very well. So good to hear. You kind of made me closer to you. There's more to you. There's, and your story, but it's the realness which you expressed. The agoraphobia, and I know how crippling it can be, because I suffered from that. Part of my early recovery was working on that. I too wouldn't leave my space. The biggest fear, you can give me £1 million, yeah, or put me in a crowd. I will not go in a crowd for £1 million. So it was like open spaces, people, 5 or 6 people was a massive crowd. So city centre, I would probably die of panic. And that took years and years and years of hard work. But the thing is, you can get through it. Yeah, you can overcome it. That's the beautiful thing about it. I thought I was going to die with it. That's going to the rest of my life, because that's how pronounced it was. And I too use substances, to mask the intensity of it, so I could go out, I could socialize and that. And It makes you feel when you talk, you can't talk about it because you feel so inadequate. You feel so less than. It affects your worth, and you can't tell anybody because people they're not going to get it. So you carry it, and you live in that isolation, and you're trying to maneuver your life around that, but in such limiting ways. The space out there, we should be exploring and living and thriving in it, but we're limited because of this agoraphobia. So thank you for that, Thank you.
And thank you for sharing that. That's really positive to hear that and know there's a way forward. And for you articulating those exact feelings, you said those feelings for me. So thank you.
Bless you, Katie.
Katie, can I just say it's amazing that you're here with us? And can I ask you a question? And it's just like, so like, at first, did you find it hard coming on Zoom, for instance, or has that been like a revelation to you? Whereas to other people with COVID and everything, it's not been so much.
Actually, COVID was my savior. For everyone else, it was like, oh shit, this is awful. For me, it was like, woohoo, everything's online. I'm going for it. So I did it took me a little bit, but I did take to it quite quickly because I am quite a sociable person. As you might have gathered, I like to talk and all that, and all of a sudden I could do that again and I could be part of again. And yeah, up the COVID.
Wow.
So what are we doing to build the robustness in this container? Do you feel it's getting stronger, or is that just my projection?
Positivity between each other about relating to each other's stories. Or relating to each other.
Sorry, damn it. I think being vulnerable as well, and somebody willing to be vulnerable and help somebody else to be vulnerable at the same time.
So that's modeling. So in the workplace, you kind of model the sort of behavior that's going to create the culture in your environment. Would my esteemed colleagues concur with me? Which is basically, am I talking shit or not?
No, you're not.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So how do you think we're creating this?
Communication.
Yeah, it's emerging, huh? Yeah. So we create the container, we check in contract, we find the agenda, and then we see what emerges. The solution emerges. And just to bring some balance to that, yeah, not everything's fucking coaching. Yeah. Sometimes you need meetings like do this practical, yeah, but there's too much of that. There's very little of this type of space. And if you can incorporate this type of space, that's going to improve the whole organization. And just to give some evidence to that, Recovery Connections is a very peer-led, lived experienced organization. And when people come from other industries and they land up in this sort of environment, it can be traumatic for the people coming on board because they go, what's all this touchy-feely shit? Fuck. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm too scared to ask Lisa what she learned.
I just obviously I know Katie very well, and I have a different kind of admiration for her because for me, I feel like she's taken a shit situation and made the best of it and found ways to move past it. So it doesn't define who she is, and it doesn't mean that she hasn't got anything to offer, that kind of thing. And she's also talked herself down a bit because she does actually go across the road where she does which when I first knew her, she didn't even do that. So that is her safe space, like her home and across the road to the restaurant across the road, and that's it. But I also know how brilliant and the fact, you know, these things, the difficulties that Katie has, she's used in a positive way, and she has skills that other people don't have because of it. That's my take on Katie, and before I'm sick from saying too much nice stuff, I'll leave it there.
How did that land with you, Katie?
A little bit uncomfortably, if I'm honest. Because much as I love being part of, you know, I've said my bit, that's it, that's okay. I don't want any. Yes, I take on board everything Lisa said, because it is true. I am where I am today because of the lessons I've learned through coping. But that doesn't mean I need special attention or special treatment. And sometimes when someone says something like that, I kind of feel a bit like that. I feel like a little bit like, okay, that's enough about me, move on. You know, because I'm conscious of that, I think, because people have had to make adjustments for me in the past, which has made me feel a little bit less autonomous. And I'm trying to build up that autonomy. But I do have to say I'm grateful for Lisa, because she has been a big part of my journey. So I have to say that now, as she's said that, you know.
Okay, so it's a double-edged sword, huh? Yep. On the one hand, we want to be seen, or I want to be seen and noticed and recognized and honored. And then the other part of me is like, oh, fuck off. Don't give me like, don't, yeah. So I want the light, and when I've got the light, it's like, go away. So that's a difficult, yeah.
It's a no-brainer for us as an organisation, though. We've always got someone on tap, haven't we, who's not out and about.
That was a funny, edgy joke. So that indicates to me there's a lot of robustness between Lisa and Katie, and for me, it triggered my political correctness stuff. It's like, oh, I can't say that. So I'm very pleased you said that, Lisa. And Katie, what I want to say is what we've done as an organization is to adjust our training and the certification process to meet you where you're at, to get you over the line, as opposed to saying, oh no, we can't help people like that. Yeah, no, they must go somewhere else. Yeah. Last week, I had a coaching session with someone who's in Ireland, in prison, yeah, and how can we, you know, get them over the line while they're coaching people in prison, learning about this sort of stuff over a monitored Zoom call, and our particular lived experienced organization has the luxury of being very agile, very fluid, but that can also create a projection of fucking chaos. Oh God, they're all over the place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. How's the container doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It feels like we're getting to know each other, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I miss Celia, who was with us at the beginning of the call.
Yeah.
Dropped off. Yeah. So I've got a little bit of anxiety going, oh, okay. But I just wanted to say that as well.
Worried if she's okay.
Yeah, there's that part of me that doesn't want to leave anyone behind,
Mhm.
which is a very kind of Ubuntu African thing. You know, when it
Yeah.
rains, the whole village gets wet. It doesn't just rain on one roof. Um, what's on your mind, Emma?
I was just thinking about what I get all the names mixed up.
It's all right.
Katie was on
Yeah.
about with the she doesn't want to be judged because she wants to be able to do her work and do good, but not be in the limelight because of her issues. That's kind of like me, because although I've got special needs and visual problems, I need help with that, but I still want to be one of the team, just not smack bang in the middle. You know, so I understand exactly where you're coming from with that.
So would you like
It's okay.
like to explain what your special gifts are?
My special need. I've
No,
got
special gifts, yeah.
I'm dyslexic, dyspraxic, and ADHD, and I've got damaged nerves and retinas and visual disturbance. So I'm making a joke, but that's only my visual disturbance and everything's only come on in the past 2 years. But I just think I don't let my special needs or anything define me. Like, I can overcome. They're just hurdles, and I've overcome them my whole life. But I mean, when I was growing up, I was just a naughty kid, the clumsy kid, and the sick kid. You know, and now it's all special needs, and it's been given names and such. But it's more understanding about it now. But I still have those fears of walking in classrooms because I had to be the class clown to hide it, and you know, to hide the fact that I was struggling. And it's weird because I think it's gone on into adulthood, because I lived from the age of 17. I've had stuff happen in my life, but from the age of 17, I was with a narcissist, and he controlled me quite often using my special needs against me as a tool. And I found that when I wasn't with him anymore, I didn't know how to behave without him telling me, like, without me, even though he didn't tell me how to behave, because whether I did it a certain way or other way, it wasn't either right. But I found it very difficult to behave in situations, so I completely shut down because I wasn't sure if, like, I could be in a whole crowd of people and I'd be lonely, or like, you know, I just didn't know how to behave in society. And it's the silence up here where nobody can hear you, but you don't want people to completely hear it, but you don't want to be in the limelight, but you want to be part of it. So I completely understood. But yeah, I just went on a tangent there, but it's difficult.
Yep, your tangent cracked my heart open. Yeah. So and not in a like fucking oh shame, poor Emma, fucking now got to pussyfoot around you.
No, don't pussyfoot around me.
Yeah, no, not a chance. And I relate to the masking with a class clown, and and my heart cracked open when you mentioned your narcissist partner. Yeah, and when you broke away from that, having all kind of loss of like, fuck, what do I do now? So
yeah, because he put in my head a lot of like, I wouldn't be able to do this, I wouldn't be able to do that. So he took over everything. He gaslit everything. So I didn't know how to cope with everything. I was lost. It was like I was thrown into the world without any knowledge. But in the end, I did learn. I did know how to do these things. It's that belief he planted.
So your head's been filled with false beliefs. Yeah. And those false beliefs, how do they show up in the workplace?
Because I always doubt myself.
Okay, great.
I don't have confidence. I'm getting there. But it doesn't just come up in the workplace, it comes up everywhere. But in the workplace specifically, I will sit back and I'll observe as opposed to interact, if that makes sense. And I wait until I'm questioned, and then I'm unsure about what I'm allowed to share. And that allowed part is from the narcissist. What am I allowed to say? But I'm learning the barriers of like trying to get over these things. I'm recognizing them myself as they come up. So in the workplace, I can't have those barriers. Or if I do, then I've got to learn to deal with them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So one of the challenges in my organization, if I may talk about it, is when leadership was handed over to Fatima Merida, who were two Muslim women that were both kind of teenage pregnancies coming from a Muslim background, and they were in charge and given leadership positions. For them to stand up and to hold me to account was incredibly difficult for them in a learning space. Yeah. So what would happen is problems would happen in the organizations that they didn't want to tell me about because of their experience, and how it impacted the organization was the problem became a crisis. And then when the crisis happens, then I have, so we had to learn how to dance. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're always scared of upsetting, because in the past you've had consequences to whatever action you did, and that's the fear.
Yeah, well, with them it was a real kind of cultural norm that they had to get over. Yeah. And I also had to appreciate how, so we had to co-create a solution together. Yeah. And now they tell me to fuck off all the time. They just say, just leave us alone. We got this. Just piss off.
Go away.
Yeah. And it's taken a long time for that. And when we got that dance right, the organization around us perpetuated the problem. So, oh, we don't want to talk to you. We want to talk to David. Yeah. White male boss. We know he's in charge. And I had to start going, no, I'm not, to push it back. So there's a systemic change that needs to happen in the culture of our organization. Does that make sense? For us. So however your organizations want to dance, yeah. So we're learning to have robust conversations with each other by sharing our weaknesses and vulnerabilities, yeah, to build trust. It's so kind of counterintuitive. Like I'm so used to going out into the world with a CV of all my assets, yeah, and say, fuck, hire me. And here it's kind of go, okay, well, I'm a proper fuck up. I can prove it. Okay, good. You get the job. Yeah. Obviously, it's a balance between the two.
It is.
Yeah. And for me, the definition of humility is when your assets and liabilities are in equal proportion, whereas arrogance is where you use your assets to hide your liabilities. Okay. So my feeling is this is a fucking great container. I don't know if it is though. But I'm feeling good. Like this is, I think, oh yeah, we're on target. We're learning stuff here.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I say something to Emma?
Yeah.
Listening to you, Emma, you know, the resilience I'm learning about, I'm reminded of resilience, determination, a fighting spirit. There's something in you, you know, that's beginning to thrive, and, you know, building your confidence, and, you know, challenging the self-doubt, and, you know, there's a strength. I heard from you. If you hadn't shared your vulnerability, I wouldn't have known that. And now I know you through different lens. you know, you're a, you're a strong individual, you know, that is working to build a life, and who will build a life, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just find that inspiring, and I just wanted to kind of let you know that, you know, and also what David was saying, Emma, we share our vulnerabilities, but with that vulnerability, right, yeah, we build a trust. And then David's asking, what's immersion in the container? And I'm kind of reflecting intimacy in communication, a transparency in communication, something very, very beautiful, in this space that's lacking in the world that we live in today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
thank
want to
you.
say thank you, Emma. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to just say as well, thank you for sharing back, because, we do feel those limitations. And like you said, but we don't want to be in the spotlight, and we just want to be allowed to get on and do what we can. If only people would make it easier for everyone, and I think that's what our goals within our organisation is, to try and remove those barriers, no matter what they may be, without it being in any way a big thing. So it's not, oh, okay, you've got this problem, so we're going to put a massive sign over your head, say you've got this problem, and everyone has to come to you and help you. No. What we just want to do is try and remove those barriers so it's not even necessary.
Yeah.
That's,
It's like, don't build the building for us, give us the tools,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you feel like a burden at times, and that's sometimes why you don't ask. And that's been one of my big problems, is like realize I'm not a burden, right? Just give me this, and this, and I'll do it myself. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing I've just would like to tweak in this container is that when we speak, that we start to use I statements. So we start to speak from I. So what I feel is that blah, 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 as opposed to you, them, they, us, yeah? Just to just bring it to our center more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So I have felt, that I've been wanting to say that for a while, but I didn't know when to drop it in, because I feel really anxious to protect everyone here. Yeah. Which, when I say it out aloud, seems kind of stupid, because fuck, anyone from this environment knows how to look after themselves. Yeah. All right, so I'm ready to check out. Yeah. Thank you all for coming. This was recorded. Are you okay for this recording to go? If at any time you don't, for whatever reason, you don't feel comfortable with it, just let me know and I will remove it straight away. The reason it's recorded is for academic reasons, not for kind of public awareness. So it's an unlisted YouTube class, yeah, as opposed to public, but people with the link can see it. So until we have a better solution, that's what we have to do at the moment. Yeah?
Sorry to interrupt. Is that the link you've put on the chat?
No, the link I've put on the chat is the self-study material. It's the course content material that we kind of encourage people to go through, because we want everyone to kind of get on the same page, to kind of argue about what coaching is, isn't, da-da-da-da. This is just our approach. This is our theory, that we get assessed by. Yeah, notice I've gone completely off the I now. but there are organizations. So to be ISO 17024 compliant or CPD accredited, it has to be in a structured sort of way. So what's the content? Who are the students? How do you onboard people? What's the material? How do you assess whether the person's learned the material? All that fucking shit. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
actually doesn't help our students. But we need it for the external professionalism to this field. Oh, all right. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Yeah, I've fallen in love with everyone. I check out with a lot of joy. Mark and Joe, you are both completed and certified. I do hope that you keep coming back. But I just wanted to say you've met the requirements of the amount of classroom time that you've attended. Okay.
Thanks, David.
Thanks.
Can I check out then?
Yeah.
I'm checking out. Thankful for the course and grateful for all of you guys today. And then I'll tag Joe in.
I'm checking out as I feel really thankful and grateful to be here, and David getting us our certification and meeting everyone today and hearing the stories is just it's nice that we've created this safe space that you're able to share, and and I just think it's great, really. I can't stop smiling. And I will tag Johan.
Thank you, Joe, and well done, Joe and Mark, for your qualification. And I'll check out grateful and inspired. Good to see everybody. And 2 superheroes for the day from me, Emma and Katie. Good to meet you today.
Thank you.
Are you tagging Sohan?
Emma.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy, grateful, excited. Congratulations to Joe and Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sohan. Some really lovely words there, and Kate, well, everybody. But yeah, that's me. And I will tag, who's not gone?
Katie and Lisa.
I'll tag Katie.
Thank you. Yeah, well done, Joe and Mark. Really nice to see you. I hope you do come back. Yeah, I feel I've really enjoyed this session. I'll be honest, because I only did an hour last week. I wasn't sure what's expecting. I thought, oh God, 2 hours today. Do you know what? It's flown by and I loved it. And I actually feel really validated today. Yeah. And I will pass it to Lisa.
I feel after today's session, it just reiterates that everybody has different needs and you need to meet people where they're at. I'm very much and always have been a believer of, like when people say, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. I don't care what you can't do, it's what you can do. So I'm very much, let's focus on what people can do and work, like I say, with people in that way. And I think it's, a real reminder that everybody's different and everybody's got their different needs. We just need to treat people as individuals rather than a collective. And that's my note for today.
Great stuff. All right. So just one last bit of housekeeping. Yep. I've gone crazy on WhatsApp groups. And the reason I've done that is we have to move off of our workplace platform. And I just need some time trying to work out how to do a WhatsApp channel, WhatsApp communities, and WhatsApp groups. And what I've learned is, and Sohan, maybe you can be our guinea pig on this, is to create a WhatsApp group for back in, yeah. Make me an admin with that group, add who you want to in that group. And if you choose to, we can then add that group to the community. As opposed to me create a community with lots and lots of groups and updating everyone. So that's the learning I've learned, because I've had to come up with a solution because of the outside kind of chaos around this. Yeah. So yeah, and I personally would love to have back in as part of this community, because I think more than ever, your services and skills are needed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Emma?
Hello.
Yes, did you want to say something?
No, no.
No, okay, good. All right then, see you later. Lots of love.
Bye.
Thank
See you
you.
later. Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
See you later.